Welcome to the deep dive. We are really getting into the weeds today, looking at the financial lives of 25 successful people.
Yeah, we're cracking open this book, How I Invest My Money.
Yeah.
And it's just a fantastic source. For you, the learner who wants the shortcut to, the real wisdom, this is it.
It is. Our mission is pretty simple. We want to pull out the common threads, but also, highlight where these experts totally disagree.
And that's where it gets interesting, because right off the bat, you realize there's no magic formula, no universal playbook.
Oh, the whole book just forces you to answer this one huge question. What do you own and why?
Exactly. The why. That's the key. Because if your money isn't anchored to some kind of purpose, all the optimization in the world is just a trap.
It's completely useless. You could have the perfect portfolio, but if it doesn't match your life goals, what's the point?
Which is why we have to start with the non-monetary goals.
Mm-hmm.
For these experts, the real goal isn't just a number in an account. It's a purpose, peace of mind.
And a perfect example of that is Morgan Housel.
Oh, absolutely. He's so clear about it. His goal isn't just accumulating massive wealth, it's independence.
That is such a powerful distinction. Wealth is about more stuff. Independence is about control.
Right. And he talks about how he keeps his lifestyle really frugal to avoid, that lifestyle creep.
So he can just pour money into what he calls his independence fund.
He's not trying to buy more things. He's trying to buy his time back. He wants to, in his words, exit some rat race just for peace of mind.
He even paid off his mortgage early. I mean, mathematically, that's not the optimal move.
No, but the psychological return was worth more to him than any stock market return. That feeling of safety.
That idea, that psychological safety, it's just captured by Brian Portnoy. He has this fantastic term for it.
Funded contentment.
Funded contentment. I love that. He makes it clear that being rich and having the ability to fund a meaningful, low-stress life, those are two completely different things.
Yeah, and he uses mental accounting to manage it. So he has these separate buckets in his mind,
Like one for college, one for retirement.
Exactly. So that the money for one goal doesn't accidentally get used for another. It's a very human way to manage finances.
And if we're talking about the ultimate purpose, you have to mention Bob Seawright's story about his grandmother.
Oh, that's maybe the most moving part of the entire book. His grandmother, Mimi, and the family cottage.
Right. He makes it so clear that the cottage was never an investment for financial gain.
No, it was a physical symbol of family, of love, of memories. He says the real legacy isn't your portfolio balance. It's the relationships you invest in.
It's a tough lesson to remember when you're constantly hearing about market returns.
Well, Ashby Daniels kind of ties this all together with one simple, powerful idea.
Just know you're enough.
Know you're enough. Recognizing the difference between what brings you real satisfaction and what's just excess. He says living below your means accounts for 80% or more of our personal financial destiny.
80%. That's a staggering number. So our behavior is way more important than which ETF we pick.
Exactly. So if that's the 80%, what are they doing with the other 20%? What are the actual mechanics?
Which takes us right into the core mechanics. And the big theme here is simplicity.
Overwhelmingly so. Christine Benz from Morningstar just nails it. She says she's not passionate about investments.
She's passionate about investors.
And that's such a key distinction. It means her focus is on getting the big stuff right. Consistent saving, stable job.
She also brings up something that's rarely talked about, financial compatibility with your partner. She says it's a hugely overlooked factor.
For sure. Friction in your relationship means friction in your finances. And when you look at the actual investments they use for the long term, it's almost all low-cost index funds.
Right. Morgan Housel moved away from picking individual stocks. Blair Duquesne did too.
Yeah, she realized how incredibly hard it is to consistently beat the market after you account for fees and taxes. Almost no one can do it.
So for long-term goals, you just embrace the market return.
Which she says is a good return. It's the most efficient way to invest, mentally and financially. Just set it and forget it with dollar cost averaging.
So you simplify the investment and you maximize the consistency, like Debbie Freeman, who just makes those steady contributions to her simple IRA.
And that consistency gets even more powerful when you add smart tax strategy.
Like using Roth IRAs. Benz and Daniels both love them.
Yeah, you pay the taxes now, so you can get tax-free growth later. It removes that future uncertainty, which aligns perfectly with Housel's goal of independence.
And Benz takes it a step further with the health savings account, the HSA.
Well, the HSA is the ultimate tool. It has that triple tax advantage.
Tax-deductible contributions, tax-deferred growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical costs. It's an incredible tool.
It just shows that even with the mechanics, they're thinking about future quality of life, not just today's returns.
Which is a perfect segue to our next part. Because for a lot of these experts, their biggest asset isn't even on their balance sheet.
Right. We have to talk about human capital.
Your skills, your knowledge, your ability to earn an income.
Yeah. Lizetta Rainey Braxton says it perfectly. Her very first investment was in me, understanding that you have to build yourself up first.
And Dan Egan, he actually puts a number on it, which is just wild to me.
I know. He says his human capital, his earning power, makes up 75% of his total net worth.
75%. He sees his career as his single biggest and riskiest asset.
And Carolyn McClanahan, who is a physician and a financial planner, she backs this up completely. She says, your ability to work is your safest and highest returning asset.
So investing in yourself is priority number one. But what about the things they buy just for joy, with no expectation of a financial return?
Now we're talking about the psychic investments.
Yeah, Joshua Brown calls his mortgage-free home one of those. He knows the renovations he does won't necessarily pay off when he sells.
But that's not the point. The return is the satisfaction he gets from it, the feeling of ownership without debt.
Dan Egan does this too. He bought a piece of land in upstate New York, not for development, but just for his family to have experiences in nature.
Yeah, it shows that money is a tool to serve your life, not the other way around. Cheryl Penny even has a fun capital bucket.
Which includes, what, thoroughbred racehorses?
Yep, and personal properties. He knows the financial return might even be negative, but he values them for the shared memories, saying success is best when shared.
It is just fascinating how often they choose well-being over pure optimization.
It all goes back to defining your enough.
But, okay, we have to talk about the contrarians now, because it is not all simplicity in index funds. Some of these experts take huge concentrated risks.
Yeah, a few of them do. And it's almost always the entrepreneurs. For them, diversifying away from their own company just doesn't make sense.
I mean, Joshua Brown has 30% of his net worth in his own firm. Alex Chalikian has 80% in his.
It seems to fly in the face of everything we just said about peace of mind, right?
Totally. That much concentration is a massive risk.
It is, but their calculation is different. They have an informational advantage. They know their business inside and out in a way no Wall Street analyst ever could. That company is their real money.
Okay, that makes sense. Then you have another outlier, Joshua Rogers, who's skeptical of public stocks altogether.
Right. He prefers hard, tangible assets. Things like fine art, collectible cars, real estate.
Things you can touch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He operates in what he calls less efficient markets, where his personal knowledge and passion like for cars can give him a real edge.
And then there are the dividend purists, like Jenny Harrington. She only invests in dividend-paying stocks, no bonds, no funds.
Which is such a specific strategy. She says she learned it from a client of hers named Betty.
What was the story there?
She saw that during market crashes, Betty was totally calm. Why? Because her dividend checks kept showing up in the mail, regular as clockwork.
So it's not just about the cash flow, it's about the emotional comfort.
Yeah.
The stability.
The emotional comfort is huge. Ryan Kruger feels the same way. He calls dividends mailbox money. It's a simple, tangible sign that a company is healthy.
And, you know, we have to mention that a lot of this wisdom comes from, well, from failure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Tyrone Ross, who worked on Wall Street, admits he made every financial mistake imaginable.
He cashed out his 401k to pay bills.
Yep. But he says that failure pays the best interest. He learned from it, and now he uses that experience to help other people.
So when you pull it all together, what's the big narrative here?
I think it's that financial decisions aren't really financial. They're personal. They're human. They're driven by values and circumstances.
It reminds me of that Morgan Housel quote, good decisions aren't always rational.
Exactly. It's about what Margarita Chen calls the 4 C's she tries to give her clients: clarity, confidence, control, and courage.
Those are all human outcomes, not portfolio outcomes.
Precisely.
So if you think about Bob Seawright's cottage or Ryan Kruger wanting more time with his family, the real investments seem to be in relationships and experiences. And that leaves me with a final thought for you, the learner.
Okay.
What is the non-financial investment you're making right now with your time, your energy, your focus that's going to yield the greatest long-term legacy return?
Something to mull over as you align your purpose with your portfolio.
We'll talk to you on the next deep dive.